Hello, everyone. Welcome to Kiki and Kibitz. It's me, Mary, and I am here on this wacky Wednesday, August 6th. I'm coming to you with 90 Days and 900 Seconds, 90 Day Fiance, Happily Ever After, Season 9, Episode 5. There is no place like home. There is no place like home. Now, up until this point, if I was going to give Happily Ever After a grade, now we're on episode 5. I would give it a solid D. If I was going to give this episode a grade, I would honestly give it a solid C. And that's only due to Darcey and her shenanigans and dramatics, okay? Because we all know Darcey could be over the fucking top. And honestly, her shenanigans is what is holding the show together, in my opinion. The rest of them suck. So let's set 900 seconds on the timer and hop right into this. Hey Siri, set a timer for 900 seconds.
900 seconds, starting now.
So we start off with Darcey and Georgi. They have arrived in Bulgaria and it is a flashback. Okay, do you guys remember this? This is totally a flashback to when she went to go meet Jesse and she had tons of suitcases and she could barely see over the suitcases in the airport where history is repeating itself, you guys. Okay, so Darcy's struggling to go through the airport with suitcases that are taller than her. And she needs an outfit for every occasion. Okay, so hey, why not pack your whole fucking closet? Why not? So they get to their hotel. It's a quaint little place, but Darcy is worried about the important things. She's worried about if the guy that runs the place will be able to hear them getting it on. Okay, because this is their honeymoon trip, and Darcy wants to get it on. So she tells Georgie to go outside, put his ear to the door, and see if he can hear her. So she hops up on the bed, puts her feet against the headboard, starts squeaking on the bed, making noises. Okay, Georgie's like, yeah, I could definitely hear you through the door. You sound like a dog. So she jumps into his arms. They go into the bathroom, and I'm assuming they did the deed in the bathroom. So the next day, they're going out to dinner. It's a nice little romantic place. Okay. Georgie has beef tongue. Darcy has spicy shrimp. And Darcy is asking him if he's excited about taking her to meet his parents. And he is excited, but the guy is also nervous at the same time because, like he says, his parents have high expectations of him. Ever since he was a child, he was genius Georgie, really, really smart, really, really advanced and everything. So his parents have really high expectations, and he's kind of nervous that their expectations may not meet his reality. Okay. And he never said that he was embarrassed of her. But of course, Darcy, being Darcy, took it as a personal attack. Her eyes started welling up with tears, and she's like, "You're embarrassed of me." And he's like, "I never said that, but when you act like this, I'm embarrassed of you. All I'm saying is that my parents have very high expectations, and I'm just expressing my feelings to you." But of course, Darcy, being the self-absorbed person that she could be, makes it about herself. It's a personal attack. She's like practically crying. So Georgie's main concern is that his dad is a profiler for the military and that he's going to sit there and pick Darcy apart. And that is, okay? So Darcy, instead of trying to concentrate on taking it down a notch, really covering up, really being demure, and just um, presenting herself to her in-laws in a very respectful way. No, Darcy makes it all about herself. Okay, Georgie's embarrassed of her. It is scary that Georgie's embarrassed of her, and of course, she's about to cry. Totally ruined the dinner. She didn't want her shrimps anymore. Georgia didn't want his beef tongue, and that's basically how it went for them this episode. So now moving on, we have Adnan and Tiger Silly. Okay, first of all, Tiger Silly is really like annoyed with him because he won't stop smoking, he won't stop vaping. He had promised her that he was quitting vaping and smoking before he came to the states, but as he sits there with a vape on his lap during the confessional and basically pulling on it, he doesn't give a shit. Okay, he doesn't give two flying shits how Tiger Silly feels about anything. Okay, I am man, you are woman, you listen to me. So they're going off to meet Tiger Silly's dad and stepmom at a barbecue place. And that's another thing. Adnan was complaining like a motherfucker about American food and how he hates it and he spends so much time on the toilet. Well, I guess it's fantastic that you have two $12,000 toilets to sit on in your log cabin. You could get a massage, it could be heated. So I guess if you're spending so much time on the toilet, Adnan, I guess 24K was a great investment. I know in the past, other 90-day cast members have complained about the food. Most recently, Manuel, as in Ashley and Manuel, remember he was complaining that he, had the runs and all this stuff. So he's not the first one to complain, but there is nothing like bonding with your in laws over food. So they go to a barbecue place. Okay. Adnan's like, I can eat anything but pork. Tiger Silly is pointing out everything that is pork, so he wouldn't eat it. And him and his father-in-law are bonding over the food. They're both like, "Oh my goodness, this is so good." Okay, so there is nothing like food to bring people together. But it's kind of dumb, okay, to question your Christian in laws in the Bible Belt of Texas about the Bible. Okay, so he was like, I don't know what's the real version of the Bible, if the Bible is right, because a lot of people change the Bible and blah, blah, blah. So, Tiger Silly's stepmom points out to him that the Old Testament was written by many different people that were there at the time, like Matthew, Paul, Peter, etc. It's more like a history book. And the New Testament is to help people understand the Old Testament because the Old Testament was so hard to understand. That's why we have the New Testament. He's like, oh, the Quran is the same whether it's in the United States or India. And, so I give Tiger Silly's parents total props. They totally kept their cool during the conversation, even though Adnan sounded like a total idiot. Okay. He is all about his religion, in my opinion. He couldn't give two shits about any other religion. He was like, oh, there's tons of mosques here. I'm not the only Muslim here. Yes, we know this, Adnan. And like Tiger Silly's dad says, the greatest thing about the United States is freedom of religion. But honestly, sitting there arguing with your in laws about the Bible and the Quran is not a good idea. But just my opinion, okay? So Tiger Silly's stepmom asks her if she's going to convert. And she's like, honestly, I don't know. But if I'm going to convert, it's going to be a personal choice. So, of course, Adnan pulls, you know, it is God telling the woman to listen to your husband. He wants her to convert no matter what. And she is like, the more pressure you put on me, I can't. And he doesn't give a shit. He doesn't give two flying fucks. He wants her to convert. I am man. You are woman. You listen to me. I guess that's what happens when you marry a fucking 24-year-old. Okay? I mean, Tiger Silly, you knew what you were getting into. I have no sympathy. And spoiler alert, She eventually does convert, but that's a story for another video. Anyway, so moving on, we have Jovi and Yara. Now, Yara really, really wants to do this luxury dog accessory line. She wants to do it so bad that she surprised Jovi by picking him up at the airport. Jovi was away for 3 weeks working. He goes away for 3 weeks and then he's back for 3 weeks. So she picks him up at the airport with Mila and Mila. Mila is the adorable teacup poodle that you see here. I think Mila is going to be my favorite secondary character of this season. She is adorable. And even though Jovi is complaining like a motherfucker, Jovi is eventually gonna fall in love with this little puffball. So Jovi's like, I really want to have another child. And Yara is, getting a puppy for us to take care of. That is the furthest thing that I want. We just got all new furniture a couple of months ago. Is this puppy going to be pissing everywhere? Yeah, probably, Jovi, okay? Jovi tells Yara that he is not going to take responsibility. He doesn't want to take on any added responsibility that's not necessary. And Yara is just like, I'm doing this for us. So when I'm a billionaire off of my luxury dog accessory line, then you're gonna see that all this was worth it, Jovi. Okay, it was all worth it. So now, since Andre and Libby are in Moldova, it is only Alex and Lauren and Jovi and Yara, 2/3 of this season's throuple. Okay, and Lauren is trying to help Yara take some pictures for a photo shoot for her doggy line. The problem is Lauren's not really good at taking photos, okay? She was like cutting Yara's head off. She had Yara like pose a certain way with her legs, and then she cut her legs off. She wasn't showing the brand. I mean, the pictures were a hot mess. I give it to her for trying to help Yara, but yeah, that photo shoot was a total fail. So Yara was like, I thought she knew what she was doing, but I guess not. So then Lauren confides in Yara that she is fucking exhausted. Okay? As a stay at home mom of three, she is fucking exhausted. And Alex expects her to be all Miss Sexy Siren when he gets home from work. And she's like, are you fucking kidding me? I have been running around after three kids all day, cleaning, doing laundry, being a housewife. And then when you come home, I'm supposed to turn it off and turn into Miss Sexy Siren. So Yara's listening to all this, and Yara's like, it's really interesting because on the outside, when you look at Lauren and Alex, they seem like the perfect couple. But then when you just dig a little bit deeper, you see that it's not all that. And honestly, men are stupid. Yara's words, not mine. Okay. So she's like, men are stupid. They're big babies and they throw tantrums. So, yeah, we're going to see what happens. Okay. Because anyway, Lauren is totally getting on my nerves this season. I don't even want to cover her. So moving on, another couple that's totally getting on my nerves, Brandon and Julia. So they go to the beach to hang out with friends. Look at this adorable baby. Okay. Brandon's ovaries are aching. Brandon is like, oh my God, I want to have a child so bad. Brandon picks up the babies, making faces at him, doing all sorts of stuff. Let me tell you, his ovaries are fucking aching. Julia, on the other hand, is just sitting there like, well, back in Russia, they told me that I couldn't have a child, but I guess seeing Brandon so happy and the way he interacts with the baby, I guess I'll go for my second opinion. Okay, that's great. So they go for the second opinion. Julia was really nervous on the way there. I get it. Okay, totally get it. This is scary. You have no control over what's going on. I mean, her reactions and the way that she felt in the car on the way to the doctor's office, I totally get it. Okay. So the doctor tells her that she has polyps. Okay. And they're going to do some blood work and see what else is going on. And the blood work will be back in 2 weeks, and they'll have a whole follow up visit to talk about everything and what the next steps are. So now Julie is freaking out even more, okay, because she said her doctor in Russia never mentioned anything about polyps. This is the first time she's hearing about it. So she's having a bigger freak out than she did before. The one thing I don't understand is why would it take 2 weeks for blood work to come back? I mean, when I go to the doctor, I get my blood work back within a couple of days. I get it, these may be specialized blood tests, but still, 2 weeks? Okay, anyway. So now finally, Jasmine and Gino. Honestly, this scripted, contrived storyline is what is dragging this whole happily ever after down. Okay? So basically, Gino goes and he hangs out with Dana and cousin in law Michelle. Okay? And basically, cousin in law Michelle tells him that she went to go hang out with Matt and Jasmine lately, and that Jasmine did nothing but cry about how much she missed Gino, how much she loved Gino, etc., etc. And Michelle convinced him that she was not cheating on him with Matt. Okay. So, in my opinion, Michelle was trying to act like a spin doctor. Okay. Because, like her and Dana said in their confessional, they really want Jasmine to get back together with Gino. Okay. I guess Michelle loves her sister from another mister so much that she would rather her own family member be fucking miserable and stay married to the wicked witch. Yes, I called her a wicked witch. And so they basically convinced him to meet up with Jasmine again. So Jasmine and Matt are getting petties. He's getting a callus treatment. Okay. And Jasmine tells him that Gino called. Gino was really nice and that she's going to meet up with him. And Matt is like, how many times are you going to do this with him? Don't you remember him taking all your shit and throwing it in the parking lot in the rain? No, actually, Jasmine took the stuff out of his trunk and she put it on the ground of the parking lot. Okay. Gino didn't throw it on the ground. Jasmine took it out and put it on the ground herself. But that's a whole nother story. So he's like, I don't understand how many times you're going to do this. Don't you see that I've done more for you in 4 months than Gino has done for you in 4 years? Blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, all I keep thinking the whole time is Jasmine is in her early stages of pregnancy while they're filming this. And yeah, this is such bullshit. I mean, you could even see her face is getting fuller as the episodes go on. Okay. So she is pregnant in the early stages of her pregnancy while she is sitting there telling Matt that she needs to go and see what Gino has to say because she needs to give her marriage. She needs to try to work on her marriage. She needs to try to get her husband back. Meanwhile, she is pregnant with Matt's baby. Okay. Contrived bullshit. Can't even deal. She shows up to the restaurant. She's like, hi, can I get a Diet Coke and a wine glass? Yeah, are you fucking kidding me? Why are you not drinking, Jazzy? Maybe because you're in the early stages of your pregnancy. Just saying. So Gino gets there, and at first, the conversation was nice. Jasmine was like, don't tell me you're eating frozen TV dinners because I'm going to cry. And Gino's like, my recycling bin is full of boxes. They were reminiscing about the potato salad that she used to make him, and blah, 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 blah. Well, that conversation turned left really quickly when Gino asked her, let me ask you a question. You have been staying with Matt for 4 months. Why haven't you moved out and gotten your own place by now? And she's like, Gino, I don't have the financial means to do so. So all the money that you made on Cameo, all the money that you're making on OnlyFans and your TLC money, your endorsement money, all that shit, you couldn't find an apartment. You couldn't move out and get your own place in Michigan. Okay, it's not like we are asking her to find another apartment in New York City where rents are fucking sky high. But Jasmine, with all her money, cannot move out and get an apartment in Michigan to prove to Gino that she wants to work on her marriage. No, she's still staying with Matt. And then Gino asks her, "Are you still, doing the deed with Matt?" And she's like, "Of course, Gino. That was part of our open marriage agreement." I thought you said that you regretted the open marriage agreement. At least that's what Michelle said. And you said you regretted the open marriage agreement, but now you're pulling it, going, "Gino, of course I'm still getting stuffed by Matt. It's part of our open marriage." So Gino was just like, something? This is like total bullshit. Okay. Um, so Gino tells her that he invited Natalie to come to Michigan. Okay. And Jasmine is all like, "I know. She made you the happiest man alive in 3 days," and blah, 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 blah. And you could see Jasmine turning green with jealousy, but it's okay for her to get stuffed by her baby daddy. But Gino kisses another chick? Oh no. Oh no. No, 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 no. You are breaking the open marriage agreement, Gino. Okay, I can get stuffed, but you can't kiss another chick. Okay, and is she your girlfriend, Gino? Like, what is happening, Gino? Mind your fucking business. Okay, go back home to Matt. Since you insist that you can't afford your own apartment, go back home to Matt and do your thing and let Gino live his life. Okay. And she's like, "Every kiss I asked you for, I had to beg." And Gino's like, "Stop fucking lying. Like, seriously, stop fucking lying." So she gets mad and she storms out. And Gino's like, "Bye. Have a nice life." So that was basically it. That was basically episode 5 of Happily Ever After. And like I said, Gino and Jasmine's contrived storyline bullshit is really dragging the show down, at least for me. Thank you, everybody, for watching me. Please subscribe if you don't already. Double check that you are subscribed. Share my video with a friend or 10. Like, comment. Please consider joining my membership and check out my merchandise. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good night.